Hi, my name is Stacy Oden, and this is my final presentation for Ed 505 Applied Linguistics. Let me begin by introducing myself. As I mentioned before, my name is Stacy Oden. Currently, I'm a 5th grade science and social studies teacher. This is my 5th year teaching at Wendell Middle School in Wendell, Idaho. Currently, I teach 4 sections of 5th grade science and social studies, as well as 1 section of 8th grade Latinos in Action. Previously, I taught Title I reading for 3 years, also at Wendell Middle School. In this picture, you can see the front of Wendell Middle School. Wendell Middle School is a part of Wendell School District number 232. Within Wendell School District, we have 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. Currently enrolled in Wendell Middle School, we have 385 total students. Of those 385 students, 235 are considered Hispanic, 150 are considered non-Hispanic, 124 are considered ELL, and 15 of the students are considered migrant. We have a phenomenal staff over at Wendell Middle School. We currently have 1 principal, 1 full-time ELL teacher. Although he is a full-time ELL teacher, he splits his time between the high school and the middle school. He spends his morning at the high school and his afternoons at the middle school. We have 1 full-time ELL paraprofessional who does a phenomenal job at filling the shoes of the ELL certified teacher when he is not in the building. We have 1 migrant coordinator for our entire district who does a great job at making sure all of the needs of our migrant students are met. We also have a guidance counselor that shares his time between the elementary and the middle school. He spends 2 days at the middle school and 2 days at the elementary, and also any time in between, if there's a need at either one of the schools, he makes himself available to meet the needs of our students. We have 18 full-time certified teachers, 4 full-time paraprofessionals. We also have a leadership team who meets every other week after school to make sure all of the needs of our school are met, as well as any activities, projects, after-school activities are being taken care of. Our administrator has been a huge advocate for the education of all of our students. He has worked to change the mindsets of our educators regarding our ELL students. There still is a need for improvement, but he has made some great strides. Here you can see 2 pictures. The picture on the left is a picture of my classroom from the hallway view. In this picture, you can see I have my classroom set up in tables. The students currently have been working with laptops to do some research on the 50 states. You can also see that I have a few bulletin boards. The green bulletin board has vocabulary that we have been working on. The orange bulletin board has my rules and expectations. You can also see next to the orange bulletin board, I have my whiteboard split up with some tape. Those are my objectives. Over to the left of the picture, you can see that I have my map pulled down for our current unit, which is the study of the United States. Over on the other picture on the right-hand side, this is a view from my desk. You can see I have a yellow bulletin board that also has some more vocabulary. You could also see I have a world globe sitting on my counter in the back. On that back counter, that is also a workspace for students if they need to move away from other students, if they're working in small groups and they would like to move to a different location, a more isolated location, they could move to that back table. Up in the front of the picture, you can see a portion of a table that's also a kidney table that I use to work with the students. Here you can see two additional photos of my classroom. The one on the left is a view from the back east end corner of my classroom. It's closest to my green and orange bulletin boards that I previously talked about. In this photo, you can see the hallway door going out into the hallway. Next to that door, you can see I have a laptop cart. You can see the American flag is there. I have an additional bulletin board that is red. On that bulletin board, we have our schedules for the week. We have two different schedules that the students follow, so that can help guide them so they are not confused. Next to that bulletin board, I have my whiteboard split up once again. The top part of the whiteboard shows what we will be doing each day and the date for the day. Also on the bottom, we have a class captain. A class captain is someone who will run errands for me, who will pass things out for me, who is kind of in charge for the day as far as students are concerned. The next thing you can see in my photo here is a little bit better view of my kidney table where I use to pull students back to do small group work. Again, they can use that table if they're working in small groups to isolate themselves a little bit better. Moving on to the next photo on the right side, this is a view from the back corner on the west side of my classroom. Here you can see my desk in the very far corner. You can also see a pink bulletin board. On that pink bulletin board, you can we have student selfies. What those are photos of the students that they drew the first week of school. I keep those there all year long because they enjoy looking at each other's photos. You can also see on my whiteboard there are some posters. On those posters, those are behavior charts for each class that I teach within the day. And again, you can see the small group kidney table that I use in the back corner. And you can also see just a different view of my tables that I have set up. I enjoy having tables in my classroom because I feel that students can use each other as resources, and we do a lot of group work within my classroom. Our students seem to do better with the group work, and so I keep my classroom with tables rather than desks. Here you can see our daily schedules. We have one schedule that we use Monday through Wednesday, and then we have a Thursday schedule. We are a 4-day week, so we only go to school Monday through Thursday. Our typical schedule for Monday through Wednesday looks like this on the left-hand side. From 7:45 to 9, we have our first core class. Then we move into our second core class from 9 to 9:50. We then switch and go to what is called enrichment, where we have our students grouped into different groups, kind of like an intervention class. Our ELL students at this time go to the ELL class. We have some students who go to title. We have some students who go to special education. And then we have students split up within 4 teachers who work on different literacy and math activities with our students. We then move into lunch from 10:55 to 11:25. After lunch, we go back to Core 2 from 11:25 to 11:50. Then we move into Core 3 from 11:55 to 1:10. We then move into Core 4 from 1:15 to 3:35. From Core 4, we go to rotation, where our students go to music, computers, library, or PE from 1:40 to 2:40. Once rotation is over, we come back to Core 4 and finish out our day in Core 4 from 2:45 to 3:41. On the right side for our Thursday schedule, it is about the same. The only change is we have an advisory class in between enrichment and lunch that is about 25 minutes long. It's from 10:30 to 10:25. That is where we have our homeroom class and we discuss any upcoming activities. We do little small character building activities within the classroom that day. Any projects that are going on throughout the school, that's the time we work on it. That's the time we work on or checking grades and anything to help the students become better, successful students within the building. Currently, I teach 107 fifth grade students. Of those 107 students, 65 are considered Hispanic, 37 are considered ELL students. Of those 37 ELL students, 9 are served with a push-out situation where they go into the ELL classroom and receive services from the ELL paraprofessional as well as the ELL certified teacher. The other ELL students receive services in a push-in situation where our ELL paraprofessional comes into our classroom and works with them one-on-one or in small groups. We have 3 fifth grade migrant students. Most of my students that are ELL score higher on the Access to test in the area of listening rather than any other areas. The areas they score the lowest are speaking, reading, and writing. I have had the pleasure of observing 2 different students, both boys. Student number 1 is a 10-year-old boy from Guatemala. He has been here since July of 2019, so a short 5 months. He is an ELL student who receives services daily. Although his English is not proficient, he strives daily to add more English words to his vocabulary. Student number 2 is a 10-year-old boy from El Salvador. He has been here for about 2 years. He is also an ELL student who receives services daily. His vocabulary is much stronger than student 1 due to the fact that he has been here longer, but also because he strives daily to speak only English when he is speaking to teachers. The first assignment was for the students to write 1 paragraph that talked about what science thing they did over the weekend. They were supposed to think of something that was science related over the weekend and then write a paragraph on it. Student 1 writes, I play soccer, a win. I, a brother, play video game. I, my family, ate ice cream. Yo y mis primos hicimos ejercicio. I, a sister, play Legos. As you can see, he does not have it in paragraph form. Punctuation is not really used within the sentences. His syntax is not correct. He also mixes Spanish with his English. But for this student to be able to write this much this early on in the year was phenomenal in my opinion. He has only been here for 5 months And for him to have the ability to write in this capacity just enlightened me. Again, this assignment was for the students to write one paragraph about something science related they did over the weekend. Student 2 writes, "What I did this because was, does, friends, and come play with my friends are learning 16, trying, learn, but everyone wants to learn science. We want to learn every class, and we try our best to learn each class, and we try our best. It fun to learn and to practice science." As you can see, he does have it in paragraph form. There is some punctuation, but the syntax on his writing is just not correct at this point. He does talk about science. I believe there was some miscommunication at the beginning of what was expected for the assignment. He does talk about science and wanting to learn about science and that it's fun, but he doesn't actually talk about what he did that was science related. Here, in this example, the students were asked to write a paragraph summary for each type of force that they read about. The forces were gravity, friction, and magnetism. This example is from student number 2. Recall from the previous example, he struggled with sentence structure, syntax, a little bit of punctuation. So let's look at the differences between the two. He writes, "Gravity, Isaac Newton observed that all objects pull on each other due to gravity. His findings became known as the universal law of gravity. The pull of gravity depends on the mass of the object and the distance between them. Create mass have a stronger pull. If they move farther apart, the pull between them gets weaker. Friction is an invisible force that both glows down moving things and heats them up. One, when you rub your hands together, causing your skin to warm up. Magnetism can push or pull objects made of certain metals, also push and pull each other. Each magnet has a north and south pole, two opposite poles." So here, as you can see, he has 3 separate paragraphs, but within those paragraphs, it appears to me that it's one giant run-on sentence. It does not appear that he has used his punctuation as he should. It also appears that his syntax is still questionable. He appears to maybe try to copy some sentences from the reading, but also use his own wording in these paragraphs. So there is a bit of confusion, but he has done a much better job in organizing his paragraphs a little bit better than his previous example that we had talked about. So he has come a long way. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen to my presentation on applied linguistics.